And if you just joined us, you are right on time because the show is about to begin. Now, today we will be discussing a very important topic that says human and capital resources, a tool for national development. Now, let's give you this excerpt before we delve into the topic for discussion this evening. Human and capital resources are essential drivers of national development, forming the backbone of a country's economic growth and social progress. Human resources, which encompass the skills, knowledge, and health of the population, play a critical role in fostering innovation, productivity, and adaptability in an ever-changing global landscape. Now, this evening, we will be discussing the interplay between human and capital resources as a vital tool for national development. Our guest in the studio just joined us. He will be analyzing this topic with us in the studio this evening. He goes by the name David Sam. He is a human resource consultant and a recruitment specialist. Let me add to that, he is also a sociologist. Thank you, David Sam, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Engendered show. We should have like a special song for like new guests. Like, welcome to the Engendered show. Okay. I don't know how to go, Sha, but
I don't know. You have to know how to go because you're coming up with the idea. That's not a bad one, though. It's not a bad one.
All right.
Welcome. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask, just for asking sake, how is the country treating you? The economic situation so far, the prices of fuel, the incessant increment of food prices in the market on a daily basis. Exactly. How are you navigating all this?
Of course, the common statement in Nigeria when you ask anybody this kind of question, will be like, "We dey push them." So anything I want to say now will still revolve around the idea that we are pushing it. Why? Because if you know anybody that tells you that we dey push them, it means it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that easy. I understand that everything is hard, but at this point it feels like it came at an unexpected level right now. So we just have to push it, and then we'll keep adapting to the situation, and then what we can deal with, we deal with. Those we can't, then we try to upgrade ourselves to that point to be able to manage them.
We keep pushing.
Yes,
it just keeps coming at unexpected levels.
Even a woman in the labor room says, how many hours you take pushing?
It's too much because you keep on saying, we'll keep on overcoming. But like, every day you get new surprises. Every day. Imagine now they sacked 5 ministers yesterday.
Yes, right.
So I'm really curious about that situation because the president just came back from the 2 weeks vacation leave. One of the major moves he made is just sacking 5 ministers. What exactly went on?
Like, we keep having unexpected
changes.
And these changes affect everybody.
Like, seriously.
So it doesn't feel like you can get to a point where you say this thing does not affect me. No matter how you try to, it definitely has to affect you. The only thing there is that, you see, there are 2 things that happen to most people in this kind of situation. It's either they push their way upward, while there are people who are being pushed downward. So I always advise people that, in as much as you're pushing, don't just push blindly. Are you really pushing your way out of the situation, or you're pushing your way, or if the situation is pushing you down,
making the situation worse? Yes. I mean, with this economic situation, the rates of crime, of course, is on it's alarming.
An alarming rate.
I mean, was it day before yesterday? I got a report that armed robbers robbed a church, stole all the instruments, expensive instruments.
Of course,
I think to the level that most Nigerians don't even have the fear of God. You're robbing your house. There's no fear
they
of
don't
God.
really believe that. And the thing is that they will always justify the reason why.
There is always a reason, and it's always the government.
Cost of things are very, very high, and someone who has not eaten for some days does not care.
At least it will be just
in the church there is nothing that looks like God. You know, we only go there to the church by faith.
Right.
So the economy now will make the person rewrite that reality and be like, okay,
maybe God kept it there for me.
He can even pray. He can even pray. They can pray amongst themselves and be like, let God help us.
And things around. So it's by stealing things in the church. I mean, we are all facing this hardship.
Yes.
Nobody is finding it fun.
Exactly. We should all go easy on ourselves as Nigerians.
All right. So you've been a human resource consultant and a recruitment specialist for how long?
Yes, this is my second year for practicing this career like fully.
Okay.
Yes, I can say, if I want to put everything together, I should say like 5 years, because I started it when I was in school, although it was not that fully. So I was just like an intern in the process, learning, following people who were already doing it. Then when I left the school environment, I then delved into it fully to say, okay, this is my career path.
So how far has it been? Challenging?
Yes, the experience for me has been challenging, because you know, you are recruiting people who want to have a means to an end, and then coupled with the economic situation, you will definitely get to encounter people in a different ways, because people are desperate. Then you now say, okay, come, I have a way of connecting you to job, environment and all that. So people will now disregard the importance, like their value in the place that they are meant to be, and then all they just want is get me this job, get me this job. Why some can even tell you how much can I pay? It's not like the person has the money, but because how much can I pay, so it's just like they just want to get into the place. So it has not been easy dealing with people. You want to deal with their emotion, their sentiments. Some will clearly tell you that Nigeria is not easy. Help me. Today, I think I checked my WhatsApp today, and then one guy reached out to me. I think I had promised him there was a role we wanted to fill for a company, and then he was part of the people who were supposed to be there, and then he came up with an excuse that he's not around, he traveled. He just came back and they say, sir, I am back, please help your boy. And then I was like,
it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that I will help you. I don't understand. It's not about the help. People don't want to really understand this idea that what we are doing is not, we're not just, it's not the system is not to just put you in a place that so the experience is that people really don't care how they get to that place. All they just want is that get me into that place, and that is all.
But then you won't blame some people. I mean, with the unemployment rate in the country, and most people, they are ready to do any kind of job
to just survive.
I mean, it's very funny for you to see someone that studied CRS working in the bank.
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of them are there.
Like the day I came, I noticed that. I was like, I don't understand, what is this country turning into? CRS in the bank, what do you have to do?
But the thing is, I feel like it has always been that way, because it starts from the schooling system. First of all, you don't school doesn't give you what you want. You know, especially now that it's JAMB that is giving the admission. A lot of people just want to get into school. So by the time, for instance, now me, I'm not ashamed to say it, I wrote JAMB 3 times. First time follow Sha. First time I took law. Yeah, I took law. The second time I took like
and you cut off mark everything.
The first time I passed my JAMB, I got 231. And I mean, I wrote the post-UME, I failed. The second time I went for a pre-degree program. I passed. I failed JAMB.
Oh my.
Wow.
And then the third time I was already tired. I was just like,
so they should just give you anything.
This law, go away. Mass communication. I just put in mass communication. I wrote the exam. I'm just like, anything I must do, even if they give me religious studies, I'm ready to go into the school. But it shouldn't be so. And then when people go into school without, going into school to go to do what they want to do, when they come out, they're definitely going to do what they don't want to do.
Because you can't give what you don't
have. You understand? So it starts from there.
It's the same thing with the work environment. Someone gets to a place, there is a way someone can look for a job to a point where they just find me anything. You know, it's the same attitude that they had when getting to the school that they bring to the job place. So someone can study this particular course, and then you tell him, okay, there is this course, this job is marketing, and then the person studied law.
Wow.
And then it's like, I don't want tired, just let me go. It's the same thing we're facing.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't even know how important human resources, human resource managers were until when I came out of school. Because, now is all the rave. People want to be human resource officers, because now you get a job online, and you can work in various places. Human resources is very versatile. I didn't even know how important before when I used to hear human resources, like, what was that? What was that? But when I came out, even the level I was actually the do thank God for mass communication. He saved my life.
You had many dreams, oh my God.
So let's move on. Now, what are the key components of human and capital resources in the context of national development? What are these key components?
Okay, so you see, like you stated, right, when we talk about, let me start by demystifying this idea of unemployment in Nigeria. Many people feel that there are no jobs in Nigeria, and then it affects the national developments that we are talking about. It really affects it because it gives this impression that there is no job. So someone who is even applying for a degree course will be like, he has already been given this notion that it's not even about the course, right? So say from 100 level, the person believes that there are no jobs out there. Whereas what is actually missing is not that there are no jobs. Because for every company, every organization that exists, they need people to make it work, right?
That's right.
Now, every organization exists because of, there are three things that every organization wants from people to help them develop the organizations or the company that can lead to national development. And then it is either the organizations wants the people to come in there to help them make more money, help them to save the cost of the money they are doing there, or to help them gain more equity. So anybody that can fill in these three will definitely have a space in that environment. And the more people have this this idea that this is exactly the missing link, not really because there are no jobs. Because if anybody comes to me and say, you want to work with my brand, for instance, and then I see that you have something that can help me get more revenue, I can't tell the person no.
But then you will agree with me that in the workspace these days, you must know somebody that knows somebody to get a particular job. You must have connection.
That is actually a flawed system. This idea came from people who felt like all I need is who I know in this place. So, and people don't know that someone can help you get into that place, but that person cannot help you produce results. And when people get into the place where they cannot produce results, what's the result? Is that they become unproductive, and then it affects the general well-being of our nation.
That's right.
Because connection can only bring you there. So when we come in with that, okay, we have to just source the right talent to the right environment, then they produce the result that can affect the general economy. So the key component in this whole idea of human and capital resource development is that people need to understand that human resource, when we talk about resource, is just the major word there is source. The source is like that resource is like we are just re-engineering that source from people, and every source that champions a thing or an object or anything is from within. If you check, everything that makes anything works from within. So human and capital resource is that, okay, we know that you have what will make that thing look very what will make it look attractive is that you have to discover that strength, that value from within. So it cannot affect the national landscape if people cannot look within. So it means the first thing they have to look at if they want to build our nation is not about connection. That's not the first thing, because it's not about the connection, it's not about even a certificate, it's not about where I graduated from. It's about the content, and that content is what forms the source. that can now become human resource or capital resource, because the human resource and capital resource, they are different, but they work hand in hand. Human resource has to do with the person, capital resource has to do with the finance. So it should not happen that I have this thing but nothing to power it. Frustration will come in and they cannot develop.
What the human can deliver to the company comes first. Before the resources, which is the money,
comes immediately.
But the thing is, human, have to come first. Whatever is coming after is after. So, because I don't understand where the thing is, apart from where you say people are, getting these narratives, not just from themselves, some companies, they enable this flawed narrative in the sense that let's say you go ahead and you say, I'm providing you enough value. Okay, I want the same value in return.
Of course.
And they tell you that no. They send you away. It makes you feel like they say or they imply something like, we can always get someone to do this.
That's right.
So when there is that already, there is that narrative, not just from the people, from the place of work as well. It's collabo. It's not just the people, the places of work too. They are also doing their own in this.
Some places of work, they don't pay your work.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the value?
And when you demand, they anybody can do this.
Okay, so let me help out. You see, you see, this whole work thing is like a negotiation. It's a transaction. If I have what you want and then you don't give me what I want, then I should not be desperate for what you have. That is the thing.
No, you can't tell that to the average Nigerian.
We have to bring the average Nigerian to live that mentality. It's just like someone who is sick, right? I have a hospital. I have everything that this person needs to live to survive.
Okay.
And then I want to charge my words. I can't be the one. I can't be desperate in that regard, because I think with me, I already know that, okay, except if I don't, like I started by saying that these three things must be there. Whether you are there to help them make more money, you are there to help them save, or you are there to help them gain equity. Equity in the sense that, okay, my presence in this place, because I am here, someone in another place will know that you are here. So I don't have to necessarily be the one that is bringing in the money. I don't have to necessarily be the one that is bringing witty ideas that will. But as far as I'm here, let me give you an instance. There is this company, right, that they are mechanical. They do fix cars and all that. There are some guys that came there. They were not offered any job. What did they do instead? They know that they are content creators. They decided to make content about the product and the company there. Today they have hundreds of thousands of followers in the company. They make more money than what's even the owner of the company cannot boast of that in a month, because they said in an interview that one of their content gave them 20 million naira.
That is using one stone to kill two birds.
Yes. So you now find out that, okay, their negotiation was not that these people, because one thing that makes companies want to hold, and then it's like a slave kind of thing. They make it look like you need
exactly. I keep on saying this is a mutual thing. We are both gaining from this. So you don't just make me feel like I'm gaining more than you, and you need me, or you need me more than I need you.
People need to understand that, okay, you as someone who is working, if I will be paid for anything, I always tell myself that if anybody will pay me anything, let my value of that thing I produce be 10 times of what that person is paying me. Good. So if this person pays me 10,000 naira, the value I put into that thing that make that person pay me 10,000 naira should be worth 100,000 naira. Yes. That is a personal challenge you give yourself. The value should be worth 100,000. So the person will feel like, okay, I'm paying this person 10,000 naira, not because the person needs it. This is just like a percentage of what the person is worth.
So what if your value is beyond that 100,000? You keep delivering your services?
No, you can charge it.
You can demand your worth.
And if it doesn't play through?
No, but the thing is, you just have to make your worth known.
Exactly.
You have to make your worth known. For you to demand something from, you know, an employer. You must have shown that you can more than deliver. If I'm asking you for an increase in payment and salary, and you ask me, well, what have you done? What have you brought in? You know, I have brought in this, I've brought in that, you know, I've done this, I've done that. And then it makes them review, you know. And in that, I feel like in that, as an employee, you feel worthy. You feel more worthy. If at that point they say, oh, we cannot do anything, and then you move to another place that can give you better, because there are definitely, you know, more opportunities out there for you, as long as you know what you're doing and you know that you are worth this, and you know this is what you are bringing in, and that is invaluable.
You see, the thing is this: one of the ways you know that yes, your value, you don't know your value very well, is that when you are scared to leave a place. When you become scared, you feel like, if I live here, what will happen? You already send a signal that everything around you is defined by that environment. So it means your worth is not worth enough.
But is it not risky for you to leave a particular place when you don't have any other thing?
No, before you do take that decision, it's not like you just stand up and say, because you don't pay me this thing, it's not going to work. You have to test your ideas. Yes, my mentor always tells me something: no matter how lofty your idea is, no matter how much you think you have, no matter who you think you are, test yourself out this place. Yes, if this is what I do, what is the demand out of this environment? If there is no demand, then I'm just
dreaming.
It's just fantasy. It's just like it's something that was born out of desperation, possibly because I feel like I'm tired here. And you know, sometimes these things can come based on pressure outside.
That can work.
Someone can just tell you that this place, you know, there is a way you deliver something. You're too good. You have to go for no, don't follow that talk. Just keep going. You too good. When you leave that place, it's not fun.
I think everyone must have fallen prey to this one.
Definitely.
I can relate.
So build from inside.
I
can produce results. Right. There is an overflow of that result outside this place. You can demand your worth.
So let's move to the education sector. What roles can education play in terms of enhancing human resources to contribute to the national development?
Okay, so you see, the thing is, when it comes to education, in fact, the best gift you can give youths or people in a nation is education. Why education is important is that education brings about light. It brings about awareness. Education is what drives any civilization anywhere in the world. Because if something is trending in the US, for instance, and then I'm in Abuja in Nigeria, the only way I can know how that thing works very well is when I'm educated about that thing there. Is when I am educated. So it is very vital, because if we want to develop our nation, education is key. But then the problem is that many people don't really there are two ways to it. The people who are trying to educate, and then those who are recipients of that education. There is a kind of disparity in the journey. Those people trying to bring in the information, not all of them even practice the thing that they say. Not all of them practice what they say. So it feels like it's more theoretical and then does not apply in the real world. So when people take in and then want to now apply, it feels like those are two worlds apart. Then the people who are receiving the education, they don't really question
what they
are being taught.
Because you see, I have this belief that if you cannot question a thing, then you are not educated enough. Yes, if you cannot see a thing and then question, because many people, one of the ways to know that something is faulty is that when you question, they begin to resist. When someone is too sure, if you ask me what is my name, I will not start looking around to answer that my name is David. I am too sure about it. If I ask you say this is what should happen. If I not say why, when, how, who, where, and then you cannot provide these 5 answers, definitely something is wrong. So you now see that our educational system is flawed. It's like the whole thing is we are cycling ourselves, and it's not really helping.
I mean, most youths these days, they even see the education as scam. They'll tell you, who's school help?
Yeah.
School is, the thing is, school is an institution. School in itself is not education. School is an institution that would that is just like a channel for that education to take place, right? So many people are mistaking education because these two things work together. So it's easy to look at it and say, okay, they're the same thing. They are not the same, because I graduated from University of Abuja. There is someone who probably graduated from Covenant University. All of us can say we graduated from university, but our education may not be the same.
Yes, of course.
And education can take place anywhere. It's not being within the words of the institution. So, because I mean, people go to school online.
Definitely. Definitely, because that's the major thing. So many people need to redefine their own education. Personally, I always tell people that anything that you think you know, question it first. Question that and put it to a test. Until that is done, you are not educated enough.
And I think to enhance human resources, our education system should be practical and not just theoretical.
It's too theoretical. It's like a lot of, and the thing is, they will now give you one small period to go and explore the world. 1 year or 6 months. What can that do?
Something that even the place they are going to explore is not.
It's not the best.
Because the guys going there to even explore those IT, whatever it is.
They say they're looking for where they'll pay them. They're not even looking for
education is not there. Because we feel that it's not important, but it is the highest. So in the nation, our education must be redefined. What really education is. People should know that education is not about it's not about what you say. It's about what you do. Someone who is educated is refined, and when that person is refined, it affects the person's general well-being, way of life, how the person thinks, and everything. So the problem now is that in the sectors, the institution of the nation, they focus more on what you say to them. So if I say I graduated, they just believe that yes, I'm educated. But if I don't say, they'll be like, okay. So people they can find a way to boycott the real tenets, the process of that education, just to carry a regalia of what they do not really have.
Some people go the extra mile of just buying the certificate.
That one is common.
They don't have the time to sit in class, receive lectures and all that. Just
all about us at the time. Please go through the proper channel, even if you just go through the proper channel.
Think outside the box. That's the thing. I can't just take in everything. Go out there, question what in the application of this thing, what is the outcome.
All right, viewers, let's quickly go on a short break, and when we come back, the Engendered show will continue. Do stay with us.
Do you want wider patronage of your goods and services?
Do you want your goods and services to have traction?
Do you desire to make more sales and increase your return on investment?
Captain TV has got you covered, because you can achieve all this with reasonable amount of money.
With modest charges, we are the best around here for advertising and product promotion.
Whatever you want to say it for us on Captain TV.
We are a global multimedia platform aimed at positioning the African viewpoint
on Star Times channels 480 and 124, and free-to-air Nicomsat channels 12518, symbol rate 29500.
With crystal clear digital signals, we reach no fewer than 54 million viewers around the world. For advert bookings and sponsorship of programs, please call
Silas on 081 615 19559, Khadija on 070 713 72115, or Reuben on 080 234 47703.
Kaftan TV,
Imagine a beautiful world.
Do you want wider patronage of your goods and services?
Do you want your goods and services to have traction?
Do you desire to make more?
Welcome back from that break, and if you're just joining us, just take a seat and enjoy the topic, which is around human resources and human and capital resources, and how it affects national development. And now, the thing is, Nigeria is a deeply cultural, country, and there was one show. I think it affects. It's not just Nigeria, it's an African thing. Okay. It's just like we're talking about education and how it affects human resources and like stuff. A comedian said that it feels like Africans just go abroad, see something and bring it back here. Okay. They don't question what it is for. Let us bring it here. And that poses a lot of challenges.
That's right.
Because we don't really understand what is this thing for? Why is he here? So, like, what are the challenges, faced in integrating human and capital resources for effective national development? Because if we don't really understand this thing, then how can we make it work for us? How can we make it work for the nation? What are the challenges?
Okay, you see, when you mention just everything that we say is something that is very loud. Like, oh my God. Is very loud. That is why someone can leave Nigeria, goes to the US, and then in 2 weeks tries to bend his tongue just to adapt to that place. It's very bad. When it comes to culture, the thing is, I attended an event one time, and then the guest speaker was like, okay, principles, right, are universal. Yes, they are universal, but the applications are geographical.
That's right.
Yes.
True.
So in as much as we say this thing is working in that place, when I get to this place, I must find a way to make it
work
here without it is like, okay, I don't have to just take in everything that this person said. I believe it. I've seen it work. But in this place, I'm dealing with, there are two worlds apart.
That's right.
So this is my own culture. This is my own people. This is how my people think. But the problem we have most times with people is that we want to force another culture
on ourselves.
So what now happens is that there is this kind of identity crisis. So people really are not living, they are not really building themselves as much as they should. They end up living the lifestyle that it's a borrowed lifestyle. So I always advise, and then I tell people that, okay, yes, take this thing from these people, right? But then look deep within our environment. How does this relate to this place? Speak our language to make it happen. Speak our culture. You don't have to change our cultural, and that is the reason why our development is very slow. Many people feel like the reason why Nigeria is not developed are many languages, blah. No, it's not the many languages. The problem is that we are trying to carry the culture, the British culture, and then believe that it must happen on everybody at the same time. So we can bring those things, borrow them. We believe that, okay, this policy, this pattern works. But when we get to this place, let's diversify everything and then integrate everybody's culture. What is the meeting point? Then we now build up our own capacity in that environment. Because it can't work. No matter how we try, it will, and that is why it feels like we're not progressing. And where the problem is that we now try to say we are third world. What is the metric for measuring that? Is that we measure it based on what those people say. Like they are now the standard. So if we want to set our own standard, we must take them and then integrate it to our own culture and see if, because let me tell you, the history has it that the first civilization that had ever happened on earth, it was in Africa.
Egypt.
That's true.
Egypt, yes. It happened in Africa. So what really happened is that these people came in, they took in what we had to them, to their place, and then integrated it to their own culture. They didn't change their dressing. They didn't change how they only took what was needed. Our educational system.
They modified it.
Exactly. But we go there, we take this, we come here, and then we want to now force
exactly without copy.
Based on what you say, like recently I was just talking to my cousin, and she was just like, she doesn't understand why we keep on comparing ourselves to, you know, first world countries, because we are not on the same level.
Yes,
we should never compare ourselves to these people, but we keep on doing it.
You see,
and it's a serious challenge.
It's a challenge.
That comparison is
a challenge. People should come to the knowledge, the fact that we are not the same.
We can't.
So we should not compare. You see that, the other country, it works like, it doesn't work like that here. We have to find what works for us first of all, for things to even begin to work.
Exactly.
Which is a problem. We don't even know what works for us.
Right.
We only know that.
See, have you noticed that the biggest companies around the world, they sell more in our African continent?
Okay.
That is like the highest market is in Africa, and then this goes on to tell you that they need us to become the first world country that they say they are.
And most of these products comes from our continent. Most of
everything there, refine it, and
the investment they have
bring it back to us
on research. These people can silently send a group of researchers to come here and do everything, get the data, and go back.
And that's the human resources.
But you see the problem,
you can't go to their country and do stuff like that. You need to follow.
Yes, and the thing is this: even if sometimes some of our researchers go there, but what happens? They come back with nothing. The person his own concern is that he wants to add it to his resume that I went to
his own self.
Okay.
I went to this place.
Selfish interest.
So amount of money was sent to. So the person's idea of me going there is not that he wants to go and get something for the nation.
Yeah.
He wants to gather network money, and
sometimes I won't even say it's selfish, because when you go there, you see how perfectly it's working. And then when you say, okay, let's bring it over here. So let's say, when colonization started, it started with assimilation or assimilation, then association. You just, when they now come here, let's make it work this way. There's resistance.
Of course, that's
There's
true.
resistance. And when there's resistance, people are like, we don't know this one. This is the one we know. This is the one we follow.
But then you see why that resistance is there is that people, when they come, they are now speaking a different language. Because when you want to make me denounce my own cultural values to adapt to that one exactly, there will be resistance.
Okay.
But if I come and then say, okay, this is how let's say there is a development, right? This is how we build this thing. This is like an upgraded version of what you are already doing.
Okay.
I try to explain, try to educate, try to enlighten before I now bring it to bear. But if I just come and then, because I feel like I've gone abroad, everything that I just feel like, just bastardize almost everything you are doing and make you look like you are local. You understand? People will resist.
But then most times some people don't have that patience to wait, learn, for you to explain. That patience is interesting. They just want you to work
there must be a system in place. Because the places where we are going to get these things, they didn't just get them overnight.
Okay.
So we have to just find a system and say, okay, you have this information. We need to put these things in place in our nation. Then what is the gradual step we must follow to get to that? That's how we influence the culture. We maintain our values, our pattern of living. We are not old school. We are not archaic. We are not. We have our values here that these people are looking for.
That's right.
So let's maintain them and then maybe just modify on those things. Then you see, the process is what we are changing. The end result is the same. So let's maintain our eyes on the end result and then modify the process. We don't even have to change everything, but then modify them and say, okay, this is what we have to do to get to the end result that we already have in our mind. Because there is nobody, no matter what, that does not want a better life.
And change is constant.
You sound very patriotic.
Yeah, of course.
Are you a Japa centric?
I'm not a Japa.
You're saying if you have the means.
I don't really.
You're not Japa centric.
I'm not.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm not.
People like this.
I have to be here. If I want to go, I just have to get there and come back.
Okay.
Yes, I know someone will be like, okay, it's because you have not gone there. You see, if how I know that, yes, I don't have that mindset is that, okay, I've not found it as a word, something that, okay, it beats me so much. Yes, I can actually go there, build my life there, but everything I do there must connect to what I want to build here.
That's right. I mean, I think that's what everyone should be looking forward to, not just you relocating there totally.
So people are just going there totally.
And then tell people that this is what come on.
Yes, and then they know. Do you know what pays internet people the most? They're not going to say, it's bad. You not see that. Come back now, it's back. Come back now, it's back. Come back now, it's back.
Now go there, and then there's one. There's this. You now buy something of £10, but they will not tell you that it's £10. They will now convert it to naira.
So people compare salaries.
I bought this bit pie for 20,000 naira. And someone will be like, what do you mean by tell us the amount that is? So let's know what is the amount.
People compare salaries. They say what you earn in a month is what I earn per hour.
Exactly. One man was there.
You pay taxes.
You don't know how much. I pay 2 million naira every month for. They don't want to say. How much? I didn't pay you there.
That's what I do. Like that's what I keep on telling people. You go to these places and you say, oh, they are paying. You are not spending naira there. You're spending their currency.
That's right.
So don't be giving us a bobo to drink.
So it's not wrong for you to japa, but then when you japa, make sure you are in one way or the other contributing to your country's economic growth.
And I do hear that is part of what they ask you. You know, when we're going there, are you going to, especially for school, like, are you? What you are going to learn? Are you going to come back to house? 95% of them will say, "Oh yes," but when you get there, do something else. They'll forget. They
don't forget. They intentionally. Just leave this country.
And when you see power supply steady for long, you not remember that.
Alright, so in this show called The Engendered, it's a show where we discuss issues that affect the female gender mostly. Now this topic is human and capital resources, a tool for national development. Now let's bring in the women here. What roles can women play in order to contribute effectively to the national development? How can women harness their human capital resources to continue to contribute to the economic growth?
Okay, see, the thing is this, as we begin to progress, too many things change along the line.
That's right.
Before now, the whole idea of who a woman was then was defined at home.
Yeah, it is in the kitchen.
And in fact, that was like the highest. If you could attain that height, it felt like that was the best. So, but as the world began to transition into what we have right now, women can now gain expression outside the home. So it means if I can set up my home, it means I can set up a nation.
That's right.
So the only thing that women need to understand is that, you see, you don't have to fight it. You know this thing, you have it, prove it, show it. It's not fight. It's not trying to say this is this and that. Everybody have their own side of a story. But for me, I just believe that every woman has something. When it has to do with productivity, there is no gender, because productivity is more about mental than any physical energy. So it means if a man can think of something to develop a nation. It means the woman can also do the same. You know, one of the things that really is limiting women is not about the capacity, it's not about the resourcefulness, it's culture. So many people, our society keeps on bringing women to that point, reminding them that, you know, this is what it used to be before. So you have to now this is the problem. You know, any ideology that people are trying to push out there is a borrowed system.
Of course it is.
As long as we are African, we had our own system before. Now we found out that okay, there is a way the world works out there, right? For national development, women can actually make the difference. It still means that okay, if we want to make that thing happen here, we don't have to enforce it and make it look like what used to be practiced before was demonic, because that's what sustained the nation for centuries before now. So all we need to do now is to modify and redefine what made women then great in our dispensation. And one of them is that people need to have that freedom of expressing their giftings. Yes. If it's not, you know, there's this belief, they say what a man can do, a woman can do better. You know, that is actually bringing fight online. Where I saw one, the woman was trying to to carry something from the shelf and all that. Then she could not. She fell down with this stuff, and then it was one guy, that one blogger, he said, well, what a man can do. We're trying to make this jest of it, and I thought, no, that's not the implication of all these things. When women can actually play vital roles in national development, they have the capacity. You have the capacity.
Women can play and are playing vital roles because statistically, women are more. So
women are
more than men now. In population. I'm going to
check. Oh my God. So what's the ripple effect of that?
But what I'm saying is that, you know, like you said, we had a system that used to work where a woman is, you know, just at home. But now with women in workforces, like you said, one of the things for human resources is equity. That's, you know, women now are in workplaces, and you know, a workplace now can say, oh, we have so workers. We have, of which women are part of this, not just a workforce based on only men, because they're the only ones that are supposed to be working. But now we have women there, you know, providing value, and that's just what it should be. Productivity is not all about gender. That's what people should, you know, understand.
That's true.
If you, whether you're a man or you're a woman, if you are bringing it to the table, that is the
That's
end.
it.
You see, one thing
the quantity doesn't matter.
In our nation, you see, before now, what productivity looked like was more about people who could exert so much energy.
Yeah, because that was what was needed then.
That was what was needed. So people have not really left that mindset that for me to produce results, I don't have to exert that energy. Now, what is being exerted now is our mental capacity. And at this point, everybody has it.
Of course.
So all I need to do is just to sit down and then I can and pull in. So for every lady, for every woman, the first thing you must do is that you have to defeat the cultural limitations that exist. You will have to. It's a conscious thing. Without fighting it, this is what can be done. This is what I can do. In fact, what I always believe is that, okay, for you to deal with the culture, you must do something that even the person that wants to limit you will depend on that thing to survive.
That's right.
That's that one now, because the person will find out you are doing this. I can't do it.
You can't.
I need this thing you are doing to survive. I need this thing you are doing to be able to build what I am building. So I become an integral, not me, because I'm not the lady. You become an integral part of what the person is doing. That way, you can change the narrative.
Yeah, I feel like
first of all, you need to discover what you can do.
Beautiful.
And then provide value on that, because like no matter what anybody says, as long as you're providing value, it really shuts a lot of mouths.
Exactly.
Because I remember there was one video I saw online. I think it's the current CEO of maybe UBA Bank, or was it Zenith Bank, one of the banks, a female, and then it's Zenith, so a female, and people online were just like, why is he a female? Why is he a female? And I was just like, oh, she looked young. It's like, wow, like a woman. Even though I was just like, and people like, and I went into the comment section as we all do, and then people were just like, oh, were you there when she was doing this and doing that? Apparently she broke barriers. Wow. Like what some men couldn't do, even some women couldn't, she more than delivered. And that made her, when you see somebody that delivers, they're just like, there is no, you can't say anything.
Okay, so we are short of time now. In few minutes, let's say in 2 minutes, there are challenges nations, and Nigeria to be precise, is facing when it comes to these human and capital resources, as a tool for national development. How can a nation surmount these challenges to achieve this national development in 2 minutes?
It's very simple. For me, I feel the first thing we must do is that we must redefine our cultural perspective to things, right? We must redefine those things, and then we must also revamp our system of education. Let people know the difference between education, information, and entertainment. People are more prone to entertainment than education. And education is not enlightenment. Enlightenment is about awareness. Education is about skillfulness and resourcefulness. Entertainment, well, that's at the basis. But education, enlightenment first, education second, entertainment comes last. Entertainment should not supersede what is there, because entertainment is the major thing that people are now driving. When you bring anything that has to do with education or trying to give them awareness about the thing,
so it's not entertaining.
So there is no way they can become productive when they don't know. They can't produce anything. And when people are not productive, the nation suffers the most.
Of course.
So I think that's the thing that I feel when we put into place, it can help us get better results.
Thank you so much, David Sam. It was good having you on the show.
Thank you.
Hope to see you some other time.
I hope we'll come another time, because this the topic is quite interesting, and we have to still have more. Still have more to
today I got to know that human resource managers play vital roles when it comes to recruitment.
And that I wrote down 3 times.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, viewers, this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the Agenda Show. I hope you've learned 1 or 2. Now, let me leave you with this. Human and capital resources has nothing to do with gender. Okay, a woman can contribute to the national development. A man can also contribute to the national development. Just discover what you can offer in order to contribute to the nation's economic or the development. And trust me, it will go far in developing our country economically. Till we come your way again, I am Confidence Reuben.
And I am Bukola Ogungbeje. Remember that wherever you are, make yourself useful. And stay tuned on Captain TV for more information. Have a good evening.